There are places in America where the government will arrest you for getting too close. Not Russia, not North Korea, America. And the last one on this list, the government denied it even existed for 65 years until they finally admitted the truth in 2013. These are the 10 most forbidden places in America the government doesn't want you to see. Welcome back to Untold 10. If you're into stories that sound fake but are 100% real, do me a favor. Smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one. Alright, counting down from 10. Number 10. Niihau Island. Hawaii has 8 islands. You've heard of 7 of them. The 8th? Most Americans don't even know it exists. Niihau sits 17 miles off the coast of Kauai, and it's been completely off limits to outsiders since 1864. That's the year the Hawaiian king sold the entire island to a Scottish family, and their descendants still own every inch of it today. Roughly 70 native Hawaiians live on the island. No paved roads, no cars, no electricity grid, no internet. They speak only Hawaiian. And here's the strange part. When one of them gets sick, they have to fly off the island for medical care because outsiders aren't allowed in. Not doctors, not tourists, not even the US government without permission. There's a private island in modern America that's frozen in 1864, and almost nobody knows it's there. Number 9. North Brother Island. This one's wild. There's an abandoned island in the East River of New York City, right between the Bronx and Rikers. You can literally see it from the highway, and the city of New York will arrest you for setting foot on it. Why? Because for almost a century, it was the home of Riverside Hospital, an isolation facility for people with smallpox, tuberculosis, and other deadly diseases. Typhoid Mary, the famous Irish cook who spread typhoid to dozens of New Yorkers in the early 1900s, was forcibly quarantined here for 23 years until she died in 1938. The hospital shut down in 1963. Then the island was just left. The buildings still stand today, completely abandoned, slowly being eaten by trees. New York officially declared it a bird sanctuary in 2001 and banned all human access. There's a ghost city in the middle of New York City, and the law says you can never see it. Number 8. Bohemian Grove. 2,700 acres of private redwood forest in Northern California. And every July, for 2 weeks, the most powerful men in America gather here in total secrecy. We're talking former US presidents, Reagan, Nixon, both Bushes, billionaire CEOs, 4-star generals, oil tycoons. No women allowed, no outsiders allowed, no phones. And the wildest part? On the first night of the gathering, they perform a 45-minute ceremony called Cremation of Care, where they burn a robed effigy in front of a 40-foot stone owl statue at the edge of a lake. They call the owl Moloch. Photos and video of the ritual leaked online in 2000, and the Bohemian Club's official response was basically, yeah, we do that. It's the most powerful men in America, in a forest, burning a statue in front of a giant owl every single July. Number 7. The Nevada National Security Site. 1,360 square miles of desert. That's bigger than Rhode Island. And from 1951 to 1992, the United States detonated 928 nuclear weapons here, 100 of them above ground, where the mushroom clouds could be seen from Las Vegas 65 miles away. The radiation count in some craters is still high enough today that you can't legally stand there for more than a few minutes. But the site never closed. It's still active for what the government calls subcritical experiments and national security testing. Civilians can technically get a tour, once a month on a bus, with armed escorts, no cameras, no phones, no notes. Here's the strange part. The site contains an area called Yucca Flat that has so many nuclear craters from above ground testing that astronauts trained for the moon landings used it. Walking on the Nevada desert was the closest thing they could find to walking on the moon. Number 6. Fort Knox, the most famous vault in the world. The United States Bullion Depository in Kentucky holds 147 million ounces of gold. That's about half of the entire US Treasury's gold reserves, worth over $400 billion at current prices. The vault door alone weighs 22 tons. It's set on a 100-hour time lock, meaning even if every authorized person in America wanted to open it on a Sunday, they'd have to wait 4 days. No single person knows the full combination. It takes multiple staff members each entering a different path. Here's the part that breaks people's brains. Sitting US presidents have been denied entry. Only one non-government VIP has been allowed inside in the last 50 years. And that was a senator and a group of journalists in 2017 who got a 25-minute escorted look at one room, and they had to leave their phones at the gate. Number 5. The Cheyenne Mountain Complex. 2,000 feet under solid granite, in the heart of Colorado, there's an entire underground city, NORAD's backup command center, designed in the 1960s to survive a direct hit from a 30 megaton nuclear weapon. The entrance? A pair of 25-ton blast doors that take 45 seconds to swing shut. Inside, 15 three-story buildings sit on 1,300 giant springs that absorb shock from incoming blasts. The complex has its own power plant, water reservoir, hospital, and enough food for 800 people for 30 days. The wild part? It's not just sitting empty. The Air Force quietly modernized the entire facility in 2025, adding new capabilities they won't talk about publicly. They moved key NORAD operations back into Cheyenne Mountain after years of running them from a regular Air Force base. Why? They won't say. But the timing, right as global tension spiked, has analysts asking what the government knows that we don't. Number 4. The Greenbrier Bunker. This one might be the wildest story on the list. The Greenbrier is a 5-star luxury resort in West Virginia. Golf courses, spa, ballrooms, the works. Presidents have vacationed there since the 1800s. And for 30 years, from 1962 to 1992, there was a top-secret 112,000 square foot nuclear bunker hidden directly underneath the hotel, built to house every single member of Congress during World War III. 535 representatives, 100 senators plus their staff, complete with a dormitory, a hospital, a cafeteria, decontamination chambers, even a full-size chamber for joint sessions of Congress. And here's the part that's hard to believe. For 3 full decades, wealthy guests slept in 5-star hotel rooms directly above this bunker, having no idea it existed. The bunker was finally exposed in 1992 by a Washington Post reporter. The day the story published, the bunker was decommissioned. You can actually tour it today. Number 3. Mount Weather. Officially, it's called the Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center. Unofficially, it's where the United States government goes to disappear. 564 acres in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, massive underground complex carved into the rock, has its own hospital, its own cafeteria, sleeping quarters for thousands, a mass transit system, its own radio network connecting every major US security agency, and it's been operating since 1959. The government has never officially confirmed what's inside. No photos of the interior have ever been released to the public. We only know it exists because a Boeing 727 crashed near it in 1974, and the rescue crews accidentally revealed the facility's existence to investigators. After 9/11, Congress members were reportedly flown to Mount Weather within an hour of the attacks. The continuity of government program, the secret plan to keep America running after a catastrophe, is based here. If you're an American, this is where your country goes to survive. Number 2. Raven Rock. Most Americans have never even heard the name. Inside the military, it's just called Site R, a hollowed-out granite mountain on the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. Nickname? The Underground Pentagon. Built in the 1950s as the alternate command center for the Joint Chiefs of Staff during nuclear war. 3 stories of buildings, all built inside the mountain itself, sitting on giant springs to absorb blast shock. On September 11, 2001, within minutes of the second tower being hit, Vice President Dick Cheney was rushed to Raven Rock by helicopter. He spent days there. The facility houses thousands of military personnel, has its own power and water supply, and contains what's called Building 4, a section so deep inside the mountain you reportedly need a tram system to reach it. What's in Building 4? The Pentagon has never officially confirmed it. The official map of Raven Rock has never been released, and every president since Eisenhower has had to walk through it during their first month in office, so they know where to go when everything else burns. And finally, number 1, Area 51. Everyone's heard of it, but here's what almost nobody knows. The United States government officially denied that Area 51 existed for 65 years. From 1947 to 2013, every government statement, every Freedom of Information request, every congressional hearing, the answer was the same. There is no such facility. Then in August 2013, a declassified CIA document accidentally referenced Area 51 by name. The government had to admit after 6.5 decades of lies that it was real. And here's where it gets stranger. Since 2023, the FAA has been quietly expanding the restricted airspace around Area 51, pushing the no-fly zone further out year after year. Plane spotters have captured photos of triangular aircraft over the Nevada desert that don't match any known American military design. Workers at the base, people with the highest security clearances, have given sworn congressional testimony about technology being developed there that shouldn't be physically possible. Whatever's being built at Area 51 right now in 2026, the government will probably wait 50 years before they ever admit it existed. So, which one shook you the most? Team Greenbrier, the bunker hiding under a luxury resort for 30 years? Or Team Area 51, the place the government denied for 65 years and still won't tell you the truth about? Drop it in the comments. And while you're down there, tell me what forbidden American secret I should dig into next. I read every single comment, everyone. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch you in the next one.